Good morning, Book 2. Good afternoon, good evening, Book 2. This is the Scholar Gentleman, and this is my latest BookTube report. We've got Final Girls by Riley Sager. I started this book so I could, Halloween season is creeping upon us, so I kind of wanted to get to a spooky mood. And so I started with this book. I found it in a Goodwill. And basically it's a mystery thriller pretty much. And it's very well done. Casey Carpenter was a final girl of a murder out at Pinewood Cabin, and she doesn't remember a huge chunk of it, and and that's lasted for the last 10 years or so. She's fought to build herself a nice, stable, quiet domestic life, basically doing a baking blog, and she has a nice, normal boyfriend who's a lawyer. Uh, the cop that rescued her from the massacre, the one who she ran to after the event that she can't remember, is has been keeping in touch with her as a support group, as a support system to see how she's doing. Um, but her life is going well until another final girl uh, from another from another incident decides to look her up in New York City, right across the street from Central Park, because she wants to, for reasons unknown, she wanted to check in on Quincy. How's she doing? What was she like? And come to find out, there's three final girls that were scheduled to go on Oprah Winfrey to discuss their situations, and Quincy pulled out at the last minute, and which meant all three of the final girls could not show up. And yeah, you read through it. I decided to read this book because partially I took it on my last 3-day trip, so I finished this book in 2.5 days. Rather than sit there on my bed, like mindlessly doom scrolling, I just basically went over to the chair, poured myself a cup of coffee, and just kept on reading, kept on blasting through it. And it's very intricately plotted. Um, you will be kept guessing all the way up until, like, say, the last 15 pages of this book before the heart of the mystery is revealed. And I mean, you're wondering who murdered her friends. Who did it? Was it the final girl who came to check up on her? Was it the guy? The guy. She can't ever say his name, but I don't remember his name. But this small, skinny dude from the nearby mental asylum that was in the valley that Pinewood Cabin was situated near. It had just been closed up. Was it him? Was it Quincy herself? We never know for sure. But who it turns out to be is kind of surprising. But they lead you around they lead you around the primrose path. They cut through all the layers of onion until you get to the center of the mystery. But in the beginning, I want to say the beginning 20, 30 pages of the book is a lot of setup. There's a lot of jumping around from the past to the present. It's a little bit dizzying, but it pays off because now that the stage is being set here. And by the time you get reading, you're firing on all cylinders, and you want to know what happens next. Because, like I said, I started it on the plane on September 11th, and kept reading it. Let's see, so 12. Kept reading it throughout the morning of the 12th and the 13th. Finally finishing it on the plane the last day of the trip before I came home. So, yeah, I think I'll be probably looking for other books by Riley Sager. And when I was done with the book, I wasn't sure what to read. I didn't want to just jump into another book, so I broke open my what do you call it? My e-reader complete H.P. Lovecraft edition on my e-reader, my Kindle, and I read 2 short stories from that. That was they were short. They were just short enough to keep the mood and close out the trip. So I don't know what I'll be reading next. But I have a good idea. But anyway, I want to say if you haven't tried Riley Sager yet, give him a try, because this is a this is a hearty feast of a book. Very well plotted, very well crafted, um, great believable characters, great believable dialogue, and a believable end to the whole mystery, which is quite nice. You don't feel cheated. It's a good, solid-hearted thriller read, and even Stephen King himself says, if you liked Gone Girl, you'll love this. So, if you're in the mood for that kind of thing, give it a whirl. Take care. Scarlet Gentleman signing off.